Who else we got?
Just us, bro.
Yeah. Hey, it's always
I'm
just us.
trying to go live. It's tripping.
Uh,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Boom. I'm going live on Instagram too today. Yeah.
the Gram.
The gram. I
Where
done
Ivory
set
at?
it up.
Where Ivory at?
Oh, I'm gonna get Ivory. I'm
You
gonna get
gotta
him
get
one day.
Ivory, son.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Yeah, I'm waiting for some people to join. We in here. We 38 seconds in. I forgot to promo it, but people's gonna come in. I'm believing it. I'm believing it by faith.
Broco.
Broco.
Hey, so look. Hey, let them know I'm in Big Bear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step out my room.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
It ain't no
look.
snow.
We can bring
Ain't
the
no snow right
hey,
now.
look. You bring the family up here.
Uh-huh.
You got the pool table,
Oh yeah, it's nice.
the kitchen joint,
What kind of event you doing up there?
wedding showcase.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to
You
get
told me
us all
about that.
paid. Wedding
Yeah, yeah.
showcase. You got the. So in this
You
in this
breaking up. Go
one,
back to your room. Go back to your room. You breaking up.
all right.
Yeah, you bad. But I got people logging on now, man. People logging on, people checking us out. Yeah, you frozen. Go back to your room where you had that good service.
Oh, bye.
You was good. You was good in your room.
Stupid. Got good service.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the It's Mental Live podcast, man. I know y'all missed us last week, but we back here, man. I'm not gonna do that to y'all again. Even if all my guests cancel, I'm gonna be here, man. You know what's crazy, Dennis? This morning, man, I was honestly stressing. Like people don't know how God uses you, right? I was stressing about this show tonight, right? And because it's kind of deep, man. We've been talking about sex, we've been talking about relationships, we've been talking about women, and tonight we're gonna get a little deeper, right? But they don't know what we're talking about. But so I'm
Yeah.
stressing about the show this morning. I get off the treadmill and I see my bro Leaf, right? I see Leaford, right?
Leaf. Yeah.
Yeah,
He did a good job. He
yeah,
did
yeah,
a good job. Yeah.
I kind of just snuck up on him and said, "What's up?" Kind of startled him, and we just get to talking, man. And he kind of poured into me and motivated me and like pushed me in a way to where it's like he like thoughts I was already thinking that I kind of downplayed. It kind of pushed me to move forward in that way and not kind of downplay my thoughts and kind of move forward and not be so concerned about what people might think and stuff like that. Like this is bigger than me. So I think like God just used him in that moment to talk to me, and I spent almost my whole gym workout talking to him, man, and it really helped me prepare for the night. So I'm hype about that. What's up, y'all, man? If y'all here, y'all on here, y'all can hear me, man. Type in the chat. Give me twos in the chat. Type a number 2 in the chat so I can see y'all. Give me a 2 in the chat. I want to make sure I can see y'all in the chat. If you're here with me, give me a 2 in the chat. Type a number 2 in the chat. Welcome y'all to the It's Mental podcast. What up, man? What up? What up? All right, people, I see them. I see some twos coming in. Type number 2. If you see me, type number 2. We are here. Denny Mo, what happened to you? I don't see you, man. What, you in the bathroom?
So I'm up here. We're still setting up.
Mm-hmm.
And I got party planners. And people. No, I'm still here. I'm still. You can hear me. I'm just. I'm emailing myself information for tomorrow.
All right, well, hurry up, man, because people want to see your face. I know it's ugly, but they still want
Oh,
to see
they should want to see my face.
you. So why you doing that, man? I'm gonna hit with the intro so we can get started, man. I don't want to bore the people. So what's up, y'all, man? I'm the DJ Benzie. This is the It's Mental podcast where you're gonna often hear from men. You're gonna hear from the mind of men, how we think, our thought processes, and you know what? We're not all the same. So I'm gonna have different brothers on here from different walks of life. A lot of them, going to be saved brothers that believe in Jesus Christ. Some of them might not be. I'm gonna have real masculine brothers on here. I'm gonna have married brothers on here. I'm gonna have single brothers on here. I'm gonna have single dads on here. So I'm gonna have everybody on here, young, old, it don't matter. I'm gonna have brothers on here so y'all can hear.
What about stupid, dumb people? Stupid.
Yeah, that's why I got you on. That's
okay,
why
cool.
you here. That's why I got you on. So yeah, man. Once again, I'm the DJ Benzie. Hey, make sure y'all follow me on all platforms, man. The DJ Benzie. On Facebook, I'm just Benzie Dow. On Instagram, it's Benzie Dow or at the DJ Benzie. And follow us on what's X? It's called X now. Twitter's X at the DJ Benzie. Man, tune in every Thursday, 7:30. We rocking. All right, y'all. So real quick, Denny Mo, where you go, man? We about to start this conversation, dude. I ain't trying to bore the people.
Oh no,
Okay, okay.
gonna go deep. We gonna
All
go
right,
deep.
so look, before we go, man.
I'm in Big Bear. I'm in Big Bear.
Okay.
I'm doing gigs in Big Bear. I've never been up here. I think this is a place you should bring the family. Big Bear Resort.
Yeah.
Hook up. I know the owner.
All right, so if y'all want to go to Big Bear, y'all know who to holler at. Get in his DMs and
bring your.
Oh, you talking to me? Oh, yeah, we coming. Well, all these kids, they got to be somewhere.
All your 45 kids.
Hey, but check this out though, man. So I want everybody to know that may not know you that's on here. This is my mitzvah, my gig mitzvah MC mentor right here. He got me started. He taught me everything. He gave me all the tricks of the trade, and he just logged himself out. I don't know what he's doing. He's a little old. He's a little special. But we're going to get him back on here in any moment. I'm sorry, y'all. I try to do a professional show, but you know what? When you're dealing with brothers, sometimes they're not as professional. So, but yeah, he was my mentor in DJing. He's a little bit older than me. He's been doing this for years, and he kind of taught me what I know. And since I was a little younger, and I was a little younger, a little better looking, I couldn't have took off with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. But first of all, I gotta know, man, because you Generation X, right? I'm millennial.
Yeah. They called us X. They called us crashing. We gonna crash and burn.
Well, tell me, how do you feel? Just real quick. Well, this is not what our show's about. But how do you feel about the Kendrick Lamar Drake battle thing, man? What's your mindset? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you listen to all the tracks? What you think?
Kendrick killed him.
Okay.
Drake is a superstar. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
They both did what they did. They went their ways. You can't take that away from neither one of them. We don't care for that. We out here grown folk trying to pay bills. We don't care about y'all beefs. Unless y'all paying our bills, then we can support y'all. But at the same time,
but y'all grew up in the Pac, Biggie, Nas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But guess what? Guess we lost both of them.
We did, but okay, NWA, they was beef. They was, you know what I'm saying?
They had beef with the police.
Eazy-E, Ice Cube. Well, Eazy died at AIDS, but
they was beefed out with the police. Fuck the police. But guess what? They still whooping our ass. So guess what? We can still get arrested.
Okay. I got you. I just want to know if the older generation was into it. So, all right, we're gonna
we listening to it. We listening to bars.
Okay, that's what I'm listening to, bars. The bars of it. Okay, so here we go, man. It's Mother's Day weekend, right? And you know, instead of talking about mothers, I don't really want to talk about mothers too much. What I want to talk about today is because you kind of grew up like me. There was no dad wasn't in the home, right? You grew up like me. Dad wasn't in the home, right? Am I correct?
So I got a challenge because you put this out there to me a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
It's some people that grew up without mamas.
Okay.
And so we honor mamas a lot. But there's some of us whose mamas ain't shit. So it's some of us who ain't got the daddy or the mama.
Okay.
So I speak on the daddy, but I also gotta speak on if you ain't had a mama.
Yeah. So but this is what I want to ask. So you were raised by a grandmama, right?
I was raised by his grandmama on my daddy's side.
Grandmama on daddy's side. Got you. Okay. So grandmama on daddy's side took you at what age? What age was grandmama?
My mother, so you got to understand. Let me close this door. My mother dropped me off at my grandmama's house at 1.5 years old.
At your daddy's mama's house.
So because we're gonna be real, right?
Yeah.
So when I go through therapy, what they introduced to me was rejection at the first point.
Okay.
My mama, my first love.
The first love, okay. The first woman that you ever loved was supposed to.
The first woman that's supposed to love me.
Yeah.
Dropped me off.
Dropped you off
at 1.5.
At 1.5. At your grandmama's house.
At my grandmama's house, who belonged to my daddy.
Now, where did your daddy live at the time? Where did daddy live?
With his mama. He was
so
8,
daddy was
19 to
there.
20 years old.
Also, daddy was in the house still.
A drunk, an alcoholic. He was an alcoholic and a drunk. There's two different things. He was a drunk, an alcoholic, and a drug addict.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And so she didn't have the money to win me through the courts. So she said she dropped me off over there. My aunties would tell you, her sisters would tell you, well, she could have left you with us, because we was taking care of you from when you were born to 1.5. But she decided she was gonna say, well, I'm gonna give him to his daddy since he can do it better than me.
Oh, so they wasn't on good terms. So she like, here, you deal with it.
Yep.
Okay. So what type of relation? I know grandma was in the house and you said daddy was on drugs. Daddy was drug addict and alcohol and alcoholism and all that stuff. What type of relationship did you and your daddy have, though?
I adored my father. I adored and I honored him. I adored him. He was my hero.
Oh, okay.
My mother, I didn't know much about. I had siblings, but my grandparents were my parents.
Grandmama and
Geneva and Gary were my parents.
And those are your daddy's parents.
Yeah, grandma and granddad.
So did y'all grow up? Now, did you view daddy as big bro? How did you?
No, daddy's my daddy until he overdosed. When I was 11 years old, and they woke me up on that morning and said that he died. That crushed my world.
Yeah. Wow.
That changed me from 0 to 11 to 11 to adult. Crushed my world. My daddy was not supposed to die. Never knew about death.
Wow.
There's many people whose fathers perished, and that was not a part of their world.
Yeah. So now being a young man, right? You're 11 years old. Dad passes. You got older grandparents, right? They're a little bit older because they grandparents. Those are your parents. How was your relationship with them, right? Like, I know you saw them as your parents, but because there's a bigger age gap, how was that relationship?
I didn't know age gap. They beat my ass like they was my parents. I was bad. I was ADD. I was ADHD. Now there's people going to identify with this. I was ADD, ADHD. I was bad. I had toys.
Right.
I had a cousin. So mind you, my father was adopted.
Okay.
So I'm the grandson of an adopted father, right? And I'm just all over the place. I got a lot of energy.
Right.
You know me now.
Right.
You probably can say, yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can believe that.
But
back then there was no identification. Well, it wasn't big way to identify treatment for those conditions, the ADHD and stuff like that. And 100%. Then you went through two traumatic experiences. One you probably don't remember because you was 1.5, mom dropping you off, right? And then the other one, 11, pops dies, right? The person you looked up to as a kid. So those are two traumatic experiences on top of the stuff that you're already dealing with.
And Ritalin. All they said was Ritalin.
Yeah, give him Ritalin.
He needs some Ritalin.
Right. A whooping and a Ritalin. That's what he needs. That's all. It's interesting, man, because I was raised by my mama, right? My mom had me at 39 years old. So for me, and that's all I knew. I knew my grandfather and my mom. My grandfather, I think he died when I was, I want to say like 7 or 8. And I spent my mom always worked, and so I spent my summers with my grandfather.
That's the man you knew.
That was the man I knew.
Yeah.
So when he died, I had uncles and stuff, but they had their own families. There was no man in my life, right? So it was just me and mom's is 40 years older than me, right? So growing up, first of all, she's a woman, right? And I'm a boy, right? I'm playing with swords. I'm
all over the place.
Wrestling, jumping off the bed and stuff. I'm playing football and baseball. So she's trying to manage this boy with all this energy, single boy with all this energy. She 40, you gotta think, I'm 10 years old, she 50. You know what I'm saying? She 50 years old, she couldn't keep up with me. So, my mom bust her butt for me, right? But there was no, I think because of the age gap, because of the difference in who we were, like she couldn't relate to the things that I was into. You know what I'm saying? She just couldn't relate to the things that I was into.
I go with you on that. Mm-hmm. As what we considered they couldn't relate, but at the same time, if it wasn't for my grandparents, Geneva and Gary, if it wasn't for them, Gary holding me and Geneva whooping me, if it wasn't for them, because any time of the day I come into the house, there's food in the refrigerator. I can make a sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't go without food.
Yeah,
and a boy, all he wanted was to come in the house and go
and eat. Right.
He was I didn't miss that.
Yeah.
My family on both sides. My family called me like, "Oh no, you were spoiled. You the golden child." I'm like, "Huh? I didn't have mama or daddy." No,
right.
But you was the golden child because your grandparents took you, and when grandparents take you,
oh yeah,
they spoil you, and then they whoop you the same. But you know what I'm saying?
You spoil. Oh man, my daughter is rotten from her.
We know. She
don't know the meaning of hard work at all. She thinks she's working hard now. What do you mean working hard? You ask me for a cash app every day. Dad,
listen,
cash app me $20.
Hey, I swear to God. I was 17. I'm junior year going into the 8th to 12th grade. And here come grandma. She holds a condom in her hand. She says, "This is a condom." I said,
Wait.
Grandmama comes to me. I'm 17.
In 11th
I'm
grade.
going in, I'm between 11th grade and 12th grade.
And she brought you a condom.
She said, "This is a condom. I'm having to talk with you." And I said, "Okay,
wait. Where was Granddaddy?
Oh, he was at the VFW. He's at the VFW. Mind you, Granddaddy. So he's a veteran. He's an alcoholic.
Oh,
my daddy's an alcoholic and a drug addict. I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, it's generational.
Okay. I was going to AA meetings at 5, 6, 7 years old.
Oh.
With them. So she coming in with the condom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
At 17, how uncomfortable is that?
14 was when I lost my virginity.
she about 3-4 years late. So okay. Let's go back. You lost your virginity at 14, right?
Summer of I turned 15. And it was the summer from freshman year to sophomore year. That summer, yeah.
Dang.
I know her name. I know her name. I ain't gonna say it. I know her name.
Yeah, I remember my first one's name.
Yeah, too. You gotta know your name.
But everybody lost their virginity in the summertime. It seemed like summertime was going down. Parents wasn't home, or you know what I mean, something like that. But hold on. So who taught you about sex? Let's talk about that. 11-year-old's daddy died. Boom. Granddaddy, alcohol problem. He was there, but alcohol problem. Seemed like grandmama was the rock, right? She was the one that held it down for you, right? As far as
high school. I learned sex in high school.
You learned sex in what you learned not learned on the streets per se, but what you just learned from being around people.
Yeah. Dang. I didn't know about jacking off. Remember back then, jacking off was a joke. Like you got joked on.
Yeah.
You got jonesed on.
Right. Now it's no thing.
Yeah, now it's like you
go do it.
Especially if you're married. You ought to be. But what I'm saying is if you're a married man, your right hand is your best friend. But this is what I'm saying. We used to make jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But high school is when you learn. I didn't know about head. I didn't know about that. I remember my first kiss was supposed to be this white girl. Mm-hmm. I was graduating 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And we was at her pool party. And I remember her name and everything. And she pulled me in and she wanted to kiss. And I was my lips were shivering. I was like, I ain't never kissed a girl.
Dang.
Grade, I go from a white Catholic school to a black Catholic school, high school.
Mm-hmm.
And the black school gonna teach you real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, let's dive into that. I want to dive into that black school will teach you real quick, because if you talk about black schools will teach you real quick, is I would say a lot of them, let's just be real, in the black inner city schools, they ain't got no daddy. They
But
mostly raise single mamas, right?
there's a lot of single moms,
Mm-hmm.
no daddies, but
Mm-hmm.
they're also in the white schools. There's a lot of no daddies too.
Yeah,
We
it's there
don't
too.
know that, but when you don't have a father,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a person that teaches you. And I don't want to say like you don't have a person teach you the manhood
Yeah.
and the physical strength of a manhood. And I'm not saying that every boy should go out there to fight,
Yeah.
but I'm saying to teach you how to be manly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm gonna say this because you mentioned like masturbating, jacking off, right? I remember, and it's crazy. I'm just finna be transparent with y'all. Hey, y'all can make fun of me. Bruh, I remember the first time I got hard, right? I don't remember how old I was I was on vacation with my family in Florida, right? My first Woody. I did not know what to do.
Didn't know what to do.
Didn't know. I'm like, what do I do? I'm
I gotta
pushing
pee.
it down.
I gotta pee bad.
Right, I gotta pee bad, but I didn't have to pee no more. What do I do with this thing? I didn't know about Jack. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't I didn't know what to do. Hey, y'all, if y'all in the chat, man, I need y'all to share this. Like and share. Please share, because our numbers are down right now. But we on some deep stuff, and I don't even care. This is some good conversation
But
right here.
this means
So
something because how no pun, how difficult, I was gonna say how hard, how difficult is it for a father to go to his son and say, hey son, this is what you're gonna deal with when
you know what?
your
I
first
don't
time
know.
hard.
So I have I have my nephew's son, right? He was with me.
Nephew, son, yeah.
Right.
I got
And I'm kind of, and I'm ready. I am looking forward to the opportunity to talk to him about these things. Now he's 7 years old, right? And he's not thinking about that. You know, he's like, I got 4 crushes at school, right? Whatever. Okay, fine.
But let me ask you this, Izzy,
yeah,
a host, is he thinking about it? Because at 7, 8 years old, I was getting hard. 9 years old.
Well, I don't think I got hard till I was like 9.
Yeah. So
9.
so
But he's not.
did
I can
that
tell
you
you
talk to
this.
your sons about what happens with his situation?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that conversation. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it, to be able to give him the knowledge that I have, right? Because I gave my daughter the knowledge that I have. My daughter, low key, a savage when it comes to boys, because I told her all the terrible stuff I
You
used to
gave her the
do.
knowledge, so you can tell her that you can kick anybody boy. You can kick any boy's ass when it comes to her. You gave her all that, but
I gave her the knowledge,
yeah,
right? But that right there is an important thing, that they have a man. Like, I don't know if I would have felt comfortable when my mom talking about, okay, one day your penis is gonna get hard, right? And then what, mom? Don't talk to me about this. I don't want to, like, I wouldn't want no one talking to me about it, right? But
no fathers doing it.
Father, but they need to be.
Not even the grandfathers.
That's what they need to be. Like Denny right now, he got a 7-year-old. If you see, like, if you start seeing your child, whatever, 7, 8, 9, and they start having girlfriends, they start liking girls, right? I think that's the time where you start introducing those conversations to them and start saying, yo, hey, you're going to start liking girls. And one day your penis is going to get hard. It's going to stand up in a way, and you're not going to know what to do, son. Let me explain this process to you.
That's a difficult conversation, because I have 2 nephews. The one is in his 20s, obviously. I had him when he was younger. The one is he's in high school, going to his sophomore year. It's an awkward conversation when now this might help the podcast. When you go to them finally and say, hey, I want to have a conversation with you about this situation, and they say, oh, we already learned that in school.
And that's the hard part. That's the hard part.
Oh, the school has already told you?
The school was already talking to him. And I think they start talking to him in like 5th grade. 4th, 5th grade.
So when do they send when do they send the email to the parents and say, this is what we're gonna talk to your child about?
I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Did they?
I think they only do it when they show them a video and you can ask
the
video. But as far as health class, it just happens now. I remember before you had to sign something. Mama had to sign. It's okay for you to talk to them about it. They didn't have to sign for you?
They brought condoms out.
Well, in high school, I'm talking about I think it was junior high for me.
they gave us condoms.
No, Lisa, this is a conversation for women. Let me tell you why. Because you a mom and you got boys. You have 3 boys, I think. Yeah, you got 3 boys who are men. Well, they men now. But this
is a parent.
As a parent, this is a parent conversation. And you know, by law or technically, Dennis, you're not a parent, but you've been daddy, uncle for them.
Yeah, I've raised the kids. Yeah,
right, for their whole life, right? But this is something that us as men, we need to have these type of conversations because, like you said, it is awkward, right? But then you got somebody like Denny who's in the chat who's got a 7-year-old boy. I'm not saying he wouldn't do this.
The nervous. We had lunch the other day last week.
Yeah, he told me.
Had burgers last week.
He said he better start talking to his 7-year-old son now.
You got to start now.
You got to start now. You got to
start somebody
introducing it.
Your son what you not teaching him. And if you don't talk to your son and your son say, well, let me talk to my daddy first.
Yeah.
Because see, we got to understand when we want to coach, we want to coach kids, we want them kids to trust the coaches.
Absolutely.
But the kids don't ever say to the coach, well, let me ask my daddy, is this the way I swing? Is this the way I throw the football? Is this the way I catch? They don't say, let me ask my daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, they just roll with what the coach says.
First thing is, let me check with my daddy first.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask my dad.
Let me ask my dad.
Let me ask my dad. Now, so let me get back into our question here now. So, without having that full positive male role model, right? This full positive male role model that you deserve growing up. How did that have an effect on your personal self-esteem?
Well, I believe no matter if you have a full positive role model or not, and this is probably coming from me who didn't have my father, you had to fight and you had to face high school. So I went to the black high school, Catholic high school, athletics. Of course, I'm 5'7". I could handle my own in certain positions, but I wasn't a superstar. But you know, I had to use my mouth. My mouthpiece was my athleticism.
Yeah, it still is. You won't shut up.
I won't shut up. No, I'm gonna talk about draws. Yeah, I'm gonna talk out of draws. But but you if you don't have your father, I don't know. I cannot tell a person what it's like to have their father.
Yeah.
You would need somebody on here who had their father so that we can go back and forth. But I had my grandfather who taught me certain things that I still hold today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I know how to walking down the street. I put the woman on the inside, even though if a car was to hit us, we both gone. But at least I put you on the inside, walking down the street. Certain courtesies, open the door. But that daddyism, to miss that, you don't know that.
You don't know what it's like to be a man
without a father.
You don't know. You're not seeing that, right? The first example of you seeing of a man is not there. You seeing it in outside sources, and you don't know what that outside source got on because you're only seeing glimpses of them, right? Little glimpse here and there of that outside source.
Right.
When the daddy's in the home, though, you get to, like my daughter, she gets to see when I'm struggling. One time, we got all these foster kids. She went off on the foster kids, said, "Y'all are stressing my daddy out. Y'all need to chill." Right. But she got to see me. She knew. I didn't have to say I was stressed out. She saw it because she knew me. Right. It's funny.
But you're a phenomenon. You're a phenomenon. I mean, you're a phenomenon. Like I've watched you over the last 15 years raise your daughter, to raise a daughter, not a son, the daughter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's spoiled.
That's where we went wrong. That's where we went wrong. She's spoiled.
She ain't picking up a baseball, throwing it. She ain't throwing a football. She going to Target and all the other 21 under, what they call it, 21 plus clubs.
Yeah, 21. Forever 21. But see here, check this out. This is what it was. I grew up without my daddy, right?
Yeah.
And I spent so much time in my 20s trying to figure out my identity as a man,
Yeah.
What type of man am I going to be? Because my mom did talk me to some of those same things. Open the door, be courteous to a woman. I know that protect the woman, right? Stand on the street side of when you crossing the street, stuff like that. I knew about chivalry, right?
Sure.
Chivalry, right? I knew about that stuff, but she could not teach me how to identify myself as a man, right? So my self-esteem came from how many women I could bang, how many girls I could bang. That was my self-esteem. So that's a false sense of self-esteem. I'm serious. You laughing, but I'm being transparent, right? Because there's a lot of young men or even old men like that to where they don't know who they are, and they boost their ego, they boost their self-esteem by how high their number is. How many? Oh, I can bag that one. She a bad one. I can get it.
I know some men who was raised by their fathers.
That could be the same way. Could be the same way. Because probably daddy was doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Daddy probably was doing the same thing.
I mean, it's good. The good is good. The gushy is good.
Right. But God desired us to want that, right? God had that place that desire in us to want to satisfy ourselves sexually. But we, as men, we have not disciplined ourselves to withhold that for the right person.
Because I'm never going to be a man basher. I think that we need to get some respect on our name. I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, men, this and that," but at the same time, there's a certain maturity level that we get to where sex ain't it always.
Absolutely.
Maybe you go 6, 7, 8 months without sex, and you're not bothered by it. It's okay. Like I lived in Atlanta for 3 years. Trust me. I went without sex, and I'm in Atlanta. And trust me, they thirsty.
Bruh, the longest I done went without sex.
Let me not degrade Atlanta women. There's some wonderful.
Oh yeah, that's the Mecca.
Women,
the Mecca,
have their businesses, but at the same time, it's 17, 18 to 1. You don't. I value me. I don't have to give myself.
Yeah.
Now there's times I want to.
Yeah.
At times I may, but at the same time, if I'm not feeling it and I'm not feeling you, I don't have to go there. And it doesn't mean I'm disrespecting you or I'm rejecting you. It means I don't want to go there with you, and I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to be your man. I don't have to be your husband.
And I think, let me tell you what I think about that. And I think that's great. I think from now, you're a little older than me, but from now to when we was in our when we was in our 20s, right, versus where we are now, the mindset of a man, or what we're telling us, men telling men, is different. At 20, all the homies were saying, "Oh, go hit that, go hit that. She wants you. Go hit that." Now it's like, yo, you're not even worth. You're not worth this. Not for me, I'm married, but I'm just saying, for a lot of men, it's like, no, I'm not giving this to you.
If I'm not attracted to you, I don't have to. And if you're not attracted to me, the same way I can buy you a drink, if you're not attracted to me and you can walk away from me, I can walk away from you just because you throw it to me. Don't give me the attitude like, oh my God, you rejected me. I can reject you.
But here's the thing, though. We got to understand what we did to our women. Not we men, but I would say society. Our society has now flipped it to where women feel like they have to chase instead of us being the chasers. They're out there trying to find a husband instead of he that finds a wife. They're out there.
I want to challenge it that the women chose to chase.
Why? Why did they choose the chase?
They had no daddies. Oh, we going back to the circle of life. Circle of life.
They had no daddies.
Because you want a daddy. Now I'm gonna let you call me Zaddy.
They had
calling
no
me daddy.
So, not saying it's the men their age's responsibility, but there's falls some responsibility on a male parental figure to
male, female. Mamas, stop picking these ignorant ass niggas you want to have babies with.
Absolutely.
You got the dumbest nigga in the world to have a baby with, and you mad because he's a bad daddy. You chose this nigga. and I'm being real 100. The nigga just got out of jail. He's stupid as fuck, and you chose him, and you got 3 babies by him. That's your fault. Now, daddy, get your life right.
I agree with that. I agree with that because you know the women, you get mad at this man. He ain't nothing. He ain't got no
look
job.
Like your daddy. You look
they
like
mad at him, right? But you knew who he was when you opened your legs for him. And regardless of the situation, there's always a possibility of having a baby when you open your legs to a person.
Look at the age group. 18, well, let's say 17 to 21 of babies being born by parents, both parents. 18 to 21. Now I'm 47. You what?
39.
They babies.
Yeah.
When the grandparents said babies having babies, we didn't take that into consideration that you're 18, you're 17 to 21 having a child. You're not ready to raise you don't have the mentality to put wisdom into a child.
Absolutely.
But that's my mama was 19, my daddy was 19.
Bro, I was 19.
You was 19.
I was 19.
My sister was 19.
Yeah.
That is not the age to have a child.
It's not. Not in this day and age, it ain't. Absolutely.
In no day and age. Mary was 14. She had a baby named Jesus. Oh, wait. Y'all didn't want to go spiritual. Oh, y'all real religious now. Oh, you real religious. Jesus was born by a 14-year-old.
14. But that's what but you know what? They was grown at 13. Jewish law, you grown at 13 when you can recite the Torah. So you an adult at 14.
I do bar mitzvahs. We DJ bar mitzvahs.
Yeah.
They say I'm an adult now.
Right.
Seventh grade. Seventh grade.
Now, the responsibility of a 7th grader now versus the responsibility of a 7th grader back then is completely different.
Well, guess who grabs the mic? The father.
Absolutely. He speaks up. And who writes the check?
That daddy.
That's right.
Who dances all night? Mama.
Mama dances all night. Daddy talking and drinking.
So we not. This is what I'm saying. Let's put into perspective that the fathers were not there. We talking the 80s, 70s. We had the drugs were introduced.
Yep.
We can go down that timeline. What do we do now?
So
you gonna have sex with a woman? Is your pullout game right, or you just gonna have babies, and then you're not ready to take care of the baby?
Well, here's the thing. I think in your 35 and up, if regardless of whether your pullout game is good or not, if you have a oops baby, you got to be ready. Something's got to switch. You should be mature enough, right? You should be mature enough that if you have a oops baby,
19 to 18, Benzie.
We said what? Say it again.
They're having babies at 19 to 18 and 20 because they don't care. Niggas go inside a woman and he gonna bust, and the woman's like, oh yeah, whatever, and we can do this, and they call them love child. They not. Are we fixing it, or is this just going to be the circle of life for all?
Well, here's the thing. Unfortunately, a lot of these people are getting influences. They're being raised by social media. They're being raised by podcasts like this. Their paradigm is shifting based on who having the biggest influence over their life. And regardless of what mommy and daddy might be saying at home, unless your mommy and daddy can combat what's happening on social media or wherever these kids are getting their information, these kids are doing what they see online.
Let me ask you a question. What's the little girl name? Lori Harvey?
Yeah. Steve Harvey's daughter. Yeah.
How many kids she got?
She ain't got none, do she? I don't know.
They paid her to be, because she go from one celebrity to the other.
Yeah, she hop around.
But her pullout game is tight because she ain't got no kids.
She probably on some birth control, something.
That's not
that
his
plan
real.
B.
That's not even his real daughter.
No, that's somebody else's daughter, right? That's a married.
But that's a man in her life saying, "Hey, if you're gonna bring one in here, be ready." But wait, while we blasting her, she ain't had no kids.
She ain't had no kids. But hold on. But let's take kids off the table. What example is she showing other young women? Is it okay for me to hop around from man to man to man? Like, so for example, I'm gonna tell you, Sexy Red, right? Sexy Red is
you asking me?
I'm gonna tell you about Sexy Red, right? You know Sexy Red, the
I know
girl.
I know her song. I don't know her life. Yeah,
I don't know her life either, right? But so you see Sexy Red, she says some of the most raunchiest things, right? The most raunchiest things, whether they jokes, whether for, but regardless, she just makes herself look terrible. But her lyrics are reaching 11, 12, 13-year-old white girls from the suburbs.
Yep.
And they got mommy and daddy, so they might just like the words. But so you know, if it's reaching them, it's reaching the 9, 10, 11-year-old black girls in the projects too.
Yeah.
Who makes them think it's okay to just make a song, F my baby daddy, right? Bend over, let that coochie breathe. They like
they sing it, they know the words.
They know the words. So her behavior is validating what they are seeing in their communities.
Yeah, but when we was kids, we had the same music. We had Lil' Kim. We had what's the other one from?
But the difference now with all these kids, social media.
No, dog.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can hear think about how long it took to hear a diss record back in the day. You had to wait for them to play it on the radio.
Biggie and Tupac.
You still had to wait for them to play it on the radio. You had to wait to hear it on the radio though. Or snuck it on a cassette tape.
No, I agree with you, but what I'm saying is we had it our different way. We had CDs.
We did. But I'm saying the effect of it. The effect of it. The instantaneous hearing of it has a different effect.
I don't blame social media.
Oh, I absolutely do.
I don't.
These kids, think about, I'll give you this. All those challenges these kids do, these challenges these kids do that have them almost killing themselves.
I think we were worse. I think our generation was worse than these kids. I don't think these kids can hang with us. I don't think
they can hang with us in certain ways. You're right. They can't hang with
us. We was ignorant.
We was, but
IGNANT.
But these kids are so much more exposed at an earlier age,
and they still
than what we are.
They're dumber than we were.
But no, but you know what? That's because a lot of systems have that we
smarter than us.
Huh?
They're dumber than us,
but they're smarter.
To the street, but they're smarter than us because they make better grades. These kids it's actually good to be a kid who makes good grades. You have a 3-point something. You have kids with 3-point somethings. Like our day coming up, if you had a 3-point something, you got talked about. You was bullied.
Yeah.
Now you got a 3-point something. Oh, you the it kid.
I feel that.
Smarter book wise, dumb as hell when it comes to life.
Okay, I agree with that. But you can have a 7-year-old that can take a cell phone, make a video, and edit it and make it look like a professional did.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that they're more advanced at.
But why not?
There's certain stuff that they could pick up like that they will pick up that fast because of the technology that they're raised on. My 7-year-old, 5-year-olds, he had a phone, and he could get on that phone and know how to navigate it, get on YouTube, find everything that he wants. If you had gave me a phone at 5 years old, I wouldn't know with a screen.
I had to sneak and get a beeper. I got a beeper.
Me too.
15.
In junior high, I had to sneak and have a beeper because drug dealers had beepers. So I had to hide it from my mama.
I had quarters in my pocket for the payphone.
Yeah.
Who was this?
To the payphone, right? Send me your code. What's your code? So I know it's you. So I know who to call. But here, so someone says just because the kids hear the music doesn't mean to influence them. You know what? When I was a kid, hold on. Let me speak to this. You might agree, but let me speak to this, right?
Okay, go ahead.
The Bible. I'm gonna get deep on y'all.
Go ahead, host. No, get deep.
I was a kid, and I love Snoop, right? Like first Snoop Doggy Style album, right? Came out in like 90.
Rolling Down the Street.
95, 94, something like that. My mama would not let me listen to it. I'm like, Mom, I just like how it sounds. I'm not listening to the words. No. She like, you ain't listening to this. This stuff is not getting ingrained in your mind, in your subconscious mind. It's not happening. I had to sneak it, right? I still snuck it, right? Sorry, mama, but I listen to Snoop. I just love Snoop. I love his whole style,
You
everything,
West
right?
Coast. You West Coast.
Right. So I loved it, right? But even though these kids may not be listening to the music, it's being planted in their subconscious mind. I don't care who you are, if you listen to any type of music in the world, or talking in your ears, whatever it is, whether it's someone speaking, talking, music, especially something along with music, it is ingrained in your subconscious mind. Period. It is there. So the Bible talks about guarding your eye gates and guarding your ear gates, because what you see and hear goes into your subconscious mind, and it may not affect you today, but if you continuously listen to that, it will have an effect on you at some point in your life. Guaranteed. Speak, sir.
So I agree with you, and I definitely recognize what you're saying in regards to how you entertain what you hear and how it can infiltrate your mind and go into your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
How do you tell a 9-year-old
Mm-hmm.
whose brain is not developed
Mm-hmm.
that that's what's going on? All they hear is on the what they hear in the music,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to tell them, well, you can't listen to that, because what
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna do, they're gonna go behind your back
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna listen, and then you tell them, well, you got to listen to gospel music, because they're not gonna do
I don't
that.
think that's the way either. I think there needs to
They're
be
not
a
gonna.
balance. There
No.
absolutely, and
No.
I think there needs to be, like, if I have my daughter.
Well, let me ask you this,
Yeah.
because I want you to answer this as a father who's
Mm-hmm.
present in a daughter's life,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a son or daughter. You got your nephew's son, which I think is your son.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hear, because artists are going to continually come out. I'm listening her Snow Allegra. Let's take some people that aren't out there doing, but they're still doing R&B, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we had the Boys the Men's, the you had Tevin Campbell, I didn't. Yeah.
No, I have Boys and Men. I rock
And
with
we
Boys and Men,
talk
man.
no, but
Yeah.
we had our R&Bs. They have
Mm-hmm.
their R&Bs. That whatever Drake want to be, or Chris Brown is killing the game, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But they got their Summer Walkers, and they got their
The summer, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like the Tyler, what's the chick from South Africa? Water.
yeah.
Let me yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They have that music
Mm-hmm.
that they identify with,
Mm-hmm.
but do they spirits gravitate with it? Because at some time in the maturity stage, okay, you can tell your daughter at she's what distinct 20.
19.
Let me call her by her real name.
Kaya, yeah.
Right?
You know,
She's what, 19, 20?
19.
She will come into the manifestation of the realization of her relationship with God on her own, because
Okay.
most of us do, right? But at the same time, when she turns 30, what is her relationship? When she turns 35, what's her relationship? We in our relationships with Christ and God, we at different ages become different people to him. Our
Well,
relationship.
I don't want to go too far. I want to
I
stick to
know
the
I don't
music
want to.
because the
Sorry,
chat is doing good. I like what the chat is saying right now. But
I can't see the chat. Tell me.
let me see if I can show. Let me see if you can see the chat. Let me
Let me know
change it to
somebody
this.
ask
There
me
we go.
so I can answer.
So I don't know if it's too small for you right there, but I'm gonna put the chat right there so you can see.
I can't see nothing though. I think it's the way my phone is set up.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put it there. All right. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you this.
Alcoholic from Detroit.
This is where it really hit me. I'm gonna tell you where it really hit me how powerful music was, right? I was dating this chick, right? And I liked West Coast hip hop, right? I'm in Arizona, I'm dating this chick, and Sugar Free dropped the album, right? I forgot which one it was. And I'm listening to it. Sugar Free, I'm listening to it all day. I come home from work, I'm listening to it. In the car, I'm listening to it. At the gym, I'm listening to it. Sugar Free, Sugar Free, Sugar Free. I started talking to her in a way a pimp would talk to a hoe.
Okay.
And
okay.
That hit, and I didn't do it intentionally. I wasn't trying to be no pimp.
It's adaptation.
I wasn't trying, but
adaptation.
that stuff starts to marinate in your subconscious mind. So you're like just Leaf just said, your ears don't discriminate. Your ears is gonna pick it up. And whether you know
I
you're
wish
listening to this stuff or not,
I
huh?
wish you could bring Leaf on right now. I wish you could bring Leaf on right now because he would have some great words. But the adaptation, when you adapt to your environment, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If you was to move to Europe or Africa or Asia, you would adapt to
Their
their way.
music. Yeah.
Anything. And
Okay.
pop goes way over there. But we can't fire on hip hop because our kids listen to it when it started in the 80s, late 70s, 80s.
What was it in the 80s though?
We took on it.
We took on it, but we weren't responsible with it. We allowed the industry to dictate. We weren't responsible. We didn't think about the next generation when we were when we let the industry kind of take over and feed us.
I'm thinking about the next generation. I write the song for now.
No, right. But
I hurt. That's how I feel. I'm not thinking about 200 years from now.
Right, you're not, but that's the problem. We're not thinking about the future. We're thinking about the now. That's the problem. We did not think when we were 17, 15, 16, 17 about hip hop, listen to Pac and stuff like that, KRS-One, Busta Rhymes,
all them,
Mos Def. We listened to like that type of music, but where did it go to? Where is it at now?
But I think we put a negative connotation on it. You'll be dealing with the Diddy situation, but I think we put a negative connotation on any of that, and we want to blame lack of daddies. But at the same time, give me a record, and I can sing it because they singing the blues. Remember the blues? The blues was before hip hop. What was the blues?
Yeah.
I lost my lady.
Yeah.
She left me alone. It was negative.
Yeah.
You niggas was thinking about negative shit about your girl leaving you.
But do you remember like in the 80s? Like I love this meme whenever I see it. It was like, man, what happened to the music where niggas was standing in the rain with a boom box singing to his girl?
We're not doing that no more because you don't even appreciate us for that. So I'm not gonna stand in the rain with a boom box. I'm not standing in the rain. I'm going inside because it's raining outside and I don't like the rain. That's why
Leaf, I agree with that. Leaf just said, I'm gonna read this to you. Leaf just said, we don't know the agenda. The music was the soundtrack to the environment. The music was the soundtrack to the environment. And we didn't know that. But right now, the music ain't the soundtrack of the environment. It ain't. It's what there was an agenda behind it.
Let me ask Facebook this.
If Sexy Red came out and said, go to college, girl, do your homework, girl, get a job, girl, submit to a man, girl, she ain't getting no radio play.
Okay, let me ask you this.
She ain't getting no radio play.
Will we rather hear change your what is it that you can change your whole him and her. You can become a him and her.
Change your
you're not a him and her, you a them or they. Change your way. Like now you can be a them and they.
Which is crazy. We've allowed that. We've allowed that as a not even just us as men or just our society in general. We've allowed that. We've allowed that we've let these feminine men and masculine women tell us how our society should be run.
Wait, you're gonna get cut off. You're not allowed to say that.
Hey, it's my show.
You're gonna get cut off. You're not allowed to say that they feminine and they masculine.
They is feminine, carrying a purse, got more switch in their hips than a woman.
Wait a minute.
Feminine man, all emotional.
Who do you identify as? Are you a them? Or they? Or that?
I'm me. I'm a he.
You're a me.
Man.
So now you identify as a me.
I'm a man. I'm all man.
You a me.
Always man.
I'm me. I identify as me.
You ain't gotta ask me my pronouns. Don't ask me my. What do you mean? You ain't gotta ask.
What if they start rapping about pronouns?
They have. I'm sure they have. You got people like Lil Nas X, all on the TV screen.
I respect Lil Nas X because he just told us what he is. Okay, tell me the truth.
He gonna do what he gonna do. But it's our job as men, right? So that young man, that little boy, without a daddy, being raised by this woman, don't say, huh, my mama's feminine, right? My aunties is all feminine. Ain't no man I'm seeing. Oh, it's another man on TV. He's feminine. Oh, let me be that.
So here's the truth. That to the point that you just said, that little boy, his mama is very strong. She's very strong minded. So she's a very masculine woman teaching her son to be a man. I'm a teach because I heard my mama say this at times when I visited her. Say the words visited her. I'm going to teach you, son, to be a man. Okay. You don't do this, you don't do that, you do this and that. I can't learn from your experience, mama, because you're a woman. Now watch this. Then you have mamas who date mamas. Sons.
I got a boy. I got a boy.
Oh, I'm gonna get cut off. Don't worry. I got haters
team.
everywhere, bro.
I got a boy on my football team. Look, no, it's a true story. I got a boy on my flag football team. I coach my son's flag football team, and he got two mamas. One's masculine, one is less masculine. I wouldn't even say she's feminine.
One is masculine, might do more push-ups than you.
But here's the thing: what effect? Now, what happened to Daddy? I don't know the story. Where's Daddy? And what effect is that having on that young man? Now the boys, they have him in football. You know, he's seeing us coaches, me and my coach. Our sons are on the team, so he's seeing that. You know what I'm saying? They have him in sports, right? So he's getting some male influences that way. I don't know. I
would say, listen, he's gonna grow up, and his way of life of knowing is, I got two mamas. One is a masculine. That's gonna be his mindset of a. Let me tell you this. I know people. I have friends. I have close friends who are studs, who have babies by women, and how they get the surrogate on their third child by women who are studs. And wait a minute, doing a better job than niggas are doing.
In what? In what sense? And as far as maybe providing, like as far as food and stuff like that, what sense are they better? Because Leaf just said something I 100% agree with. A woman cannot teach a man how to be a man. That's why I'm telling you, that's why I struggled to find out who I was as a man 100%. When I became 18, 19, 20 years old.
So let me tell you, and you guys gotta peep this when you get somebody in your circle or in your life that you can influence. When you get a stud who has kids and the women are having these kids. So you have a stud and the women, their wives are having these kids. And they say, hey, I need you in their life, then you need to be the uncle. Right? Listen, they understand that they still need that kids need a man, that they're not the man. It's just they wanted a family. What it comes down to is they wanted family. They wanted a family. They're willing to have a family more than these niggas are. You run from your kids when studs want to have kids.
Because they still women. At the end of the day, they still women, so they still nurturing.
Okay,
they might be masculine, but they're still nurturing. Leaf just dropping bar. Everything I'm thinking, Leaf saying lack of order creates chaotic.
Leaf is saying because I can't read it. Tell me.
Lack of order creates a chaotic environment.
100%.
So there's that's
but
chaos.
If the men ain't gonna step up, the women gonna do it, whether they studs or whether they female, whatever, however they wanna,
I do believe that, Chantel. Hold on. Go ahead, Dennis. I'm gonna read hers too. Or let me read hers real quick since you paused. She said, your life worked out for you. Your story came from you and will help someone else, but not everybody else. There is a purpose in every situation. I do agree. There you can extract purpose out of every situation. However, should we be condoning, right, two women raising a little boy or raising a little girl even? Now, we don't have that choice. We don't have that choice to say it because you're going to do what you want to do. But should we, especially as men, be cool with it? Like,
so then be the uncle that comes in and say, hey, let me be a male figure in that person's life. That's what I did with my family. I said, I'll be the male figure, right? You know my story, but I'm saying,
Right.
but I'm saying it with them, they live in a different state. I can't be there, but here you are on your third child, and you're being the man, even though you're not a man, but you can't teach the boys, so you need a man. So then you go
Absolutely.
to uncles. We become uncles.
Okay.
This is your uncle. This is your uncle.
So I think sometimes we like, and I think I like personally, I would take. I think years ago, somebody asked me like, "How are you impacting the community?" I think,
They
just
asked
by
you that.
yeah, that's how I impact the community.
They had the nerve to ask you that.
But they weren't. They weren't. They were just literally asking. They weren't trying to be mean or anything. But what I'm saying is, as a football coach, right? That's a way to impact the community because maybe he doesn't have an uncle, right? But he's getting to see these masculine men with their sons.
Yeah.
I give him high fives and stuff. Now he's not a soft little boy. The boy's very talented and stuff like that. He's not extra, feminine or anything. Because
Right.
you could sometimes, unfortunately, you could see a 7-year-old boy and you be like, oh,
let me tell you,
you headed down that way. If what's I don't know what happened, but at 7, my aunt has a foster son who has a brother. The little boy is 10 years old. The little boy had more switch, more attitude, more feminine, all of that at 10 years old.
Okay.
And was dancing and twerking at 10 years old. Now he was in a foster system. There was trauma, I'm sure. All the
At
kids.
21 years old, he gonna pull the baddest broad in the game. I bet you.
Is he? Is he?
He could.
Or is he gonna pull the strongest man in the game?
Well, that's his life. But no.
Oh, I like that. Hold on. My homegirl said the world makes it okay and it's not okay. That's one thing that's wrong with the world today. Yeah. Well, at least if you struggle to bench 135 and that's your match, you're not a man.
Busy. We black people and probably white people and Mexicans do it too, but we put rules on what is right and wrong. To a fault, we put rules on it. Well, that's right and that's wrong. You don't know.
Like, give me an example. Give me an example of that.
Can the person, the child who's raised by a stud, can that person go to college?
Absolutely.
Get a degree?
Absolutely.
So then we get to say, well, you didn't have a daddy, but I went to college and got a degree. Why? Because I chose to do it.
But yeah, at some point you make up in your mind.
Children, can the youth, and I think this is what can bring it home, whether you had your father or not, whether you had your mama or not, whether you were rejected, whether you was raised by grandparents, whether you were raised by whoever, can you have the mindset to do what you set out to do? Because eventually you got to grow up.
Absolutely.
And you got to stop saying, this is my excuses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to heal. You got to grow up. You have to mature.
Because in your 40s, in your
imagine
30s,
me being 39 and 40 right now, still sad because my daddy wasn't around.
Blaming your father and blaming your mama.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No.
Life has to go on. I have to heal from that. I have to grow from that, right?
I'm going to make a decision to move forward and build and grow and mature.
Yeah. I think as a society, we always blame somebody else for our situation.
It's easy to blame.
It's easy to blame the government. It's easy to blame a woman. It's easy to blame a man, a parent. It's easy to blame society. But at some point, we have to take responsibility on ourselves to do better.
It's a responsibility. But there, so let me kind of, if you will allow me to bring it to this. That's why God is so good, that if you didn't have your mama, if you didn't have your father, God puts mothers and fathers in place for you. So
Absolutely.
That spiritual parents or just parents, that you will have them along the way. So then, right, Jesus was on the cross and he told Matthew, he said, behold your mother. He told that to his mama. He said, mama, behold your son. I'm releasing this man to be your mother and your son. Even Christ gave his mother to Matthew,
to comfort him. To comfort
you know,
him.
the disciple to say, take him as your son. Imagine that's me and you take him. So at times, God is going to put those parents in your place. That's why we don't fall victim. We don't play victim the
I agree
whole
with that.
time of I didn't have my father. This is your life. From the day you was born to now, that's your life. You cannot go backwards. So God put parents in your life. He put fathers, he put mothers. I guarantee you, everybody has had a father or mother figure, whether you accept it or not. I didn't have my mama, but I had many mothers. I didn't have my father, but I had many fathers. Many that I can go to and crawl to in my crying times, in my lonely times, in my times of need, in my times of hurt, in my times of despair. And I can say, can I call you father? And they say yes. You are one of them. That they can come to you and say, can I call you dad? Yes.
Yeah, because I got foster kids. So hey, we out of time though. Good stuff today, man. I appreciate the show. Great stuff, man. We got to keep this conversation going. We got to run this back again, man. It's a good conversation.
Hey,
y'all.
You got to bring Leaford on with me.
I'm gonna do Leaf, man. Leaf, hey,
Leaf, that dude. I like.
Hey, Leaf, I'm gonna share this again because I don't know if you was on, Leaf.
Got to give me a hat.
I started the show saying that I was really stressing out about this show today because it's different. This show wasn't really about sex and relationships and stuff like that. This show took a completely different turn, and I was stressing about it. But after talking to you this morning, Leaf, I got some boldness was built up in me. So I think God placed you there because I'll never see you at the gym, and God placed you there. That's why I took that time to have that conversation with you because it was important.
I ain't at the gym. I appreciate.
No, but he go to a different gym. So I appreciate you, Leaf, man. Thank you for them words this morning. It meant a lot to me, man. Denny Mo, I appreciate y'all. I gotta get to these kids. That's why I'm rushing right now. These kids, my phone is blowing up. These kids is on their own.
Text me, cause we coming on next week strong.
All right, y'all. Again, like, share, subscribe.
Appreciate you, brother. Love you,
man. Do Well Entertainment on YouTube at the DJ Benzie on all platforms. Love y'all. Peace.
And